seminal fighting series is back with its newest installment, Street Fighter V. I've had a touch-and-go relationship with Street Fighter over the course of my life. Like most, it's the series that taught me what a fighting game was in the early 90s, but I didn't rendezvous with it again until late in the release cycle of Street Fighter IV. I found myself gravitating towards other games in the genre, like the Soul Calibur series, or anime fighters like BlazBlue. But as we drew closer to the launch window for Street Fighter V, my hype was rekindled. This was a new opportunity, a chance to sharpen my teeth as the fighting game player I always wanted to be.
Round one. Fight!
In the lens of creating a competent, well-rounded modern-day fighter, Street Fighter V delivers in spades. Capcom's exceptional fighting game system has been tweaked and refined to create a perfectly palatable experience for both new and returning players. Throwing Hadoukens and Shoryukens feels tight and impactful, and the extended 3-frame window for combos makes nailing what used to be exceptionally difficult 1-frame links a completely manageable task. Complementing its silky smooth gameplay is a level of graphical presentation and sound design that truly feels and looks beautiful. The new character models lean pretty heavily on the muscular features of each fighter, while still keeping them all visually familiar. One of the most important improvements to Street Fighter V is the exceptional online multiplayer. While at launch connections were a bit spotty, if the servers were up at all, now, a few weeks later, it is very easy to get into matches quickly and without the horrendous lag that plagued previous titles. Sure, you'll get some spots here and there, but by and large online battles are smooth and frequent. Further adding to the online experience is the controversial inclusion of fight money, and the constantly growing online store of offerings. In a future patch, Street Fighter V will include a full online marketplace where new characters and costumes will be purchasable for real money or fight money that is accrued from winning matches, finishing story mode, or leveling your characters. While I understand some players' criticisms of this system, it's an additional tier of investment that I'm very happy to see added to the mix. Beyond the drive to get good, having a tangible value tied to each of my victories is a nice bit of extra incentive to not only continue to play, but to play well. Now, in the lens of creating a full-service fighting game, Street Fighter V leaves a lot to be desired. At launch, the game is incredibly thin on single-player content as well as options for making online lobbies. As it currently stands, there is no arcade mode, no versus CPU play, no combo tutorials, no challenges, and only 2-player online lobbies. What's left is a basic local versus multiplayer, training, a story mode consisting of 2 to 4 laughably easy fights per character, survival mode, and then casual and ranked battles. Now, I understand that most players coming into this game are just looking to jump online and fight. However, by completely ignoring the single-player side of the game, a huge portion of the audience will feel like they're not getting their money's worth, especially when the vanilla version of the previous game launched with even more features than this one. Now, with all that considered, Capcom stated that they will be making significant improvements as well as adding additional content to the game over time, but I'm not the type of person to sit on the hope of future content to validate the purchase of a game. That being said, at this exact moment, I love this game. As a fan of fighting games with the itch to compete online, Street Fighter V is delivering an extremely enjoyable experience for me. Of course, I would have loved to see a few extra modes and a bit more flexibility with online lobbies, but if you're looking for a brilliantly competent fighting game with some of the best netcode around, your time here will be well spent. As long as your main goal is to jump into online fights and experience an awesome looking and feeling fighting game, Street Fighter V will not leave you disappointed.